Awakening isn't an exam with a certificate at the end, and it rarely arrives as one cinematic breakthrough that solves everything forever. It moves more like dawn. The darkness thins in layers, light appears and slips behind clouds, and yet something real keeps changing. When you see it this way, so-called mistakes stop being reasons for self-judgment and become signposts, places where attention is asking to return. Each of the 5 patterns below is common, human, and reversible. Seen clearly, they don't push you off the path, they point you deeper into it. The first pattern is turning spirituality into a new ego. It starts quietly. Ideas click, presence has a taste, life makes more sense. And then, almost without noticing, a fresh label replaces an old one. I'm more awakened than others. Teachings become badges, practices become rank. The costume thickens and the music gets quieter, even though from the outside it might look like the opposite. Eckhart Tolle often warns about this. The mind will build identity out of anything, even out of egolessness. You can tell you've wandered here when warmth gives way to subtle contempt, when there's more talk about presence than listening from presence, when you track who gets it and who doesn't. The way out isn't more self-attack, it's humor and humility. Humor remembers that the ego can make an ego out of noticing the ego. Humility quietly removes the badge and returns to the music. Less about being advanced, more about bearing better fruit in ordinary days. Ask not how awakened you seem, but how you move. A little more patience, a kinder boundary, a cleaner sentence. Presence doesn't need a label. It shows up in your tone and the way people feel around you. The second pattern is impatience, the demand for instant awakening. The modern world trains us to expect overnight delivery of everything from dinner to careers, so it's natural to want inner peace now, for good. Impatience is slippery because it uses a good aim as fuel. I just want peace, yet the tone gives it away. Peace becomes a demand, presence becomes a deadline, and the more you push, the further it seems to recede. This pressure is the ego's movement, asking for proof, guarantees, finality. Presence isn't a button you press, it's a space you notice. You shift this pattern by treating impatience as a signal instead of a failure. Choose one clear breath over forever calm. Take the half step back before you reply. Notice what is true now and make the next small clean move. Let today stop being a waiting room and become your practice field. You will find that consistency beats intensity. One honest exhale, one grounded choice, repeated often, transforms you more than rare heroic efforts ever could. You're not late, you're here. The third pattern is resisting pain and challenge. Many people secretly believe awakening should erase anger, grief, fear, or shame. So when those arise, it feels like spiritual failure. The result is double pain, the original feeling, and then the guilt for having it. That second arrow hurts more than the first. We confuse presence with pleasant and forget that awareness is the sky, not permanent sunshine. In Tolle's language, the pain body seeks activation. Resistance often feeds it. The shift is to let feeling be a wave rather than your identity. You don't have to dramatize or suppress. You can allow and contain. Name it gently. There's a wave moving. Stay with the felt sense for a few full breaths. The warmth in the chest, the tightness in the throat, the weight in the belly. Keep returning from story to fact. The fact is, I feel heat in my chest. The story is, I'm a mess. Sometimes presence looks like asking for help from someone who can breathe wider with you. Presence doesn't promise cloudless skies. It promises you can remember the sky even when clouds pass through. This hurts, and you can stay with it without becoming it. The fourth pattern is too much reading and not enough practice. Understanding matters, but it's easy to fall in love with words and forget the flavor they point to. Books, talks, and quotes are useful. They sketch the terrain and hand you a map. But presence doesn't live in your head. It lives in the next moment, in the way your hand moves, in the way your eyes actually meet someone else's. If you notice your libraries expanding while your days feel the same, it's time to turn knowledge into rhythm. Fewer inputs, deeper integration. As Tolle puts it, don't just read about the now, be in it. That can be as simple as 5 minutes of genuine single tasking, where you do one thing with full attention and watch the urge to switch. It can be listening without loading your response, staying present until you could paraphrase what truly matters to the other person. It can be a tiny transition ritual, one breath and a one-line intention before opening the next tab or entering the next room. It can be embodied checkpoints during the day. Jaw unclenches, shoulders drop, eyes soften, feet felt. This is how the map becomes the landscape, how concepts turn into a lived cadence. The fifth pattern is waiting for a big event. Many of us carry the idea that a single dramatic awakening will arrive and change everything, and until then, presence can wait. The horizon steals attention from the ground under your feet. Quiet shifts seem insignificant, so you overlook the only door that exists, the one marked now. We romanticize fireworks and miss micro-clarity. The remedy is to honor the ordinary. Awakening often looks like new light on the same street, a slightly softer voice during conflict, one less unnecessary move in a busy afternoon, a cleaner no that protects a deeper yes. At day's end, remember 3 tiny awakenings: the breath you took before you replied, the boundary you held without resentment, the reframing that replaced always and never with the simple this time. Make presence testable in one area for a week: email, commuting, meals, and evaluate by felt clarity, not mystical intensity. The sacred hides in the simple. Keep meeting it there. If you look under all 5, you'll see the same longing wearing different costumes: safety and certainty. Spiritual ego whispers, "I'll be safe if I'm superior." Impatience says, "I'll be safe if I arrive now." Resistance promises, "I'll be safe if I never hurt." Overreading insists, "I'll be safe if I understand everything." Waiting for fireworks pleads, "I'll be safe if a big moment guarantees me." There's no malice here, just fear and habit. That's why the medicine isn't harshness. It's gentleness with good boundaries. You don't have to banish any part of you. You just have to put things back in their place. In daily life, this shift is beautifully practical. A sharp email lands, and instead of replying from heat, you take one breath, feel your feet, and write the next clean sentence. It's not performative calm, it's real clarity. A conversation tilts toward point scoring, and you notice the old loop winding up. Rather than cutting sharper, you say, "When I hear that, I tense up. Can we slow down for a minute?" The talk may still be hard, but it becomes more human. A low-mood afternoon tempts you to force productivity, or to drift into scrolling, and you walk around the block without your phone instead, letting your eyes rest on something living. You come back with one clear priority instead of 5 noisy ones. Even in learning, you pause a podcast after 5 minutes and practice one thing you heard for the rest of the day. These are not grand gestures. They are the small hinges that swing big doors. A few images help. Thoughts and feelings are clouds. You are the sky. When you forget, a single cloud pretends to be everything. When you remember, clouds can pass without defining you. Awakening often feels like a half step back inside yourself, just enough to see the whole scene and find the next right move. And measure by fruits, not badges. Don't collect labels about who you are. Let people taste who you are in the way you show up. If only one line stays with you, let it be this: when I notice, I'm no longer looking from the same place. That small shift is already a different world. And if today offers only one practice, leave a breath of space before your next word. In that space, there is often room for the whole sky,